and welcome to Women Becoming Their Best. Today, we're going to be talking to nutritionist Tina Lawrence and telling you everything about nutrition. Tina is the founder of Family Nutrition for Life. And here she is telling us everything we need to know about how to make ourselves healthy, wealthy, and wise. Let's go over to Tina. Welcome, Christina. I'm so glad to have you here. And I know today is all about managing stress through nutrition. But before we start, could you give us a little introduction about yourself?
Oh, hi, Rona. Thank you for having me. So I'm Christina Lawrence. I'm a nutritional therapist and a natural chef. And I help people to maintain optimal health for them. So for every person, optimal health may be different. If you have arthritis, for example, and you cannot cook because your fingers are swollen and painful, it's finding a way of getting optimal health for you so that, for example, you can cut your vegetables, cut your oranges, and actually have that mobility in your fingers that you didn't have before. So it's helping individuals and families achieve optimal health for them so that they can live a long, stress-free as much as possible life to the full, to the max, and whatever that is for them, dependent on their situation.
Okay, thank you very much. And firstly, I'd like to ask you, the first question is, what's your definition of stress?
Stress, my gosh, my definition of stress will be that someone is overwhelmed with things in their life, with a situation or with something that's going on around them, internally, externally. Stresses come in from so many different angles. We can be stressed at work. We can be stressed at home with our children. We can be stressed because we're looking after parents. You know, there are so many stressors that can come upon us. We can be stressed because we're, anxious, we're grieving, we have loss in our lives of either dreams or even people. Trauma can bring on stress. So stress is such a wide and a vast thing to talk about. But yeah, there are so many stresses or so many things in life that can stress us out.
Mm-hmm. And do you think that stress can actually be good for us? It can actually help us in any particular way?
Yeah, short-term stress is great. If you're an athlete, for example, you know that you have to put a particular stress on your body when you're training. When you're running your race, for example, there is that stress, that anxiety that builds up, but it's not a long-term stress. If you have to do a podcast, or you have to do a presentation for work, and you're nervous, you can have that stress. It's that short-term stress. It gets your adrenaline going. It gets your cylinders fired up in your brain, and you can work. So short-term stress is not a problem. We can achieve a lot in our lives when we have that short-term stress. It helps us to move forward quickly. But long-term stress can really be a problem because it can wear on our bodies. It can impact our immune system and our health. So yeah, long-term stress, our sleep, so many different things. So long-term stress is not ideal.
And do you feel there are any common stressors for women over 40 that they particularly face?
Yeah, I think women in that age group of 40, you may have children that are stressing you out. The school run, and then the pickups, and then we're off to soccer or we're off to gymnastics, and this one's got the clarinet and that one's got the violin. This one's got swimming, and that can be very stressful. Also, just the work-life balance, getting that balance together. If you are, for example, a mother, or if you're in a high-powered job, or in your 40s, you probably have parents who may be in their 60s, 70s, maybe even 80s if they had their children in their 40s. And you can be looking after parents as well. So you can have that stressor where you've got your children at one end, you have yourself and perhaps your partner and your work life, and then you may have the next generation up that you're dealing with. That it doesn't happen so much in your 20s, 30s, but when you get into your 40s, you may find that you're dealing with two different generations as well as yourself and all the stresses that come into life from your everyday life.
And what do you think happens to our bodies when we're going through this type of stress?
Well, again, as I'm saying, long-term stress really does. It doesn't help because it's not a great word, I'm assuming. What happens is that it can really have an impact on your health. It can have an impact on the way you eat. You'll find that some people, when they're stressed, they actually just don't eat at all. And they lose weight. But then you have other people that when they are stressed, they actually eat a lot, drink a lot. Some people may turn to recreational drugs, especially if you have a disposable income, if you're working and maybe you don't have children, maybe you're not like looking after someone from the generation up and the generation down. Maybe you have a high-powered job and you're just working a lot and you need to implement something, to put something in your life that helps you wind down. And so things like recreational drugs can start to come in, alcohol and binge eating. A lot of people eat for comfort. But naturally, the types of food that we eat for comfort, no one snacks on a carrot for comfort.
I understand that one.
I don't feel good. Let me have a bit of broccoli. No one does that. So we're reaching for the saturated fats, we're reaching for the cakes and the biscuits and the alcohol and the Indian takeaway and that sort of thing, and comforting ourselves that way. So that can have a negative effect on your health. And your health really is, as Hippocrates says, it's your wealth, and let your food be your medicine. Because once we start to now turn into things like alcohol, we get things like sleep deprivation, and that's a massive part of stress as well, is not to sleep well. But some people don't realize when you eat late or you have alcohol late, alcohol may make you feel nice, give you a little buzz, but actually it inhibits your sleep. So you may fall asleep after having 2 or 3 glasses of wine or a couple of shots, but then you'll find you'll wake up in the middle of the night and you feel agitated and then you can't sleep, and then you've got the things going around in your mind that caused you to turn to that thing in the first place. So stress can really impact one's health, and I've just given you a couple of things that people do there to combat stress.
Thank you so much for that. You talked about short-term stress and the benefits, but what do you think are the big knock-on effects of long-term stress?
As I explained before, so that would be, your health, because your health is your wealth. If you're not healthy, if you're not able to get up and do your job, invariably over a long period of time, the patience of your boss runs out with you. So if you've had a loss, I did mention loss and grief earlier on, that can really stress us out and it can really impact our lives. And the things that we turn to are the things, as I said, that can seriously impact our health. And if we don't have our health, then we're not able to do the things that we want to do, or even the things that we should do. Look after your kids, look after your parents, look after yourself. Turn up for the job, be present and enjoy life. So stress, major impact on health.
And what do you think for people in their 40s they can do on part of their everyday life to combat the stress that they're suffering from?
I think one of the things, especially coming out of COVID, is that people stay connected. I know someone who has very recently tried to end their life, and they really withdrew. And one of the things that situations in life that bring on stress can bring is that feeling of isolation. So I think one of the things, ladies, to do is really try and stay connected. Let people know how you're feeling. If you are depressed, if you are down, you go to your doctors. If medication is a route forward for you to help to lift things like depression, which can come on through life situations, as I said, that bring stress, then do so. So one of the things, definitely stay connected with people, with good people. Reach out to people that can help. lifestyle coaches, nutritionists like myself, doctors, trusted friends. Don't keep things bottled up and concealed. So that's one thing. Another thing we can do always is to just eat more natural foods. So I'm a nutritionist, so I'm going to talk about it. I can't not do that. So the sugars, the sugars that we will find in lots of our foods can bring on lifestyle sicknesses like diabetes. So earlier on when I was talking about how people will seem to reach for the comfort food, that comfort food is also piling on the pounds for us. And again, that is impacting our health. So one of the things that we can do, ladies, is really watch what we're eating. So if we can put aside the saturated fats, or at least swap them out for a good fat. So a carrot is great. We can do crudités with carrots, all sorts of things with fresh fruits and vegetables. We can juice them. We can put them in a little bit of sugar. I shouldn't have said that. Stew them down, put them on top of your oats. So just try to have some more natural foods in higher quantities than definitely the saturated fats. And alcohol, that's one that, if you come home from work of an evening, or you just think to yourself, I can't wait for 6 o'clock because this is the time that I'll be able to have a drink. In your mind, you just think, well, I can't have a drink, it's 3 o'clock in the day, but at 6, I'm going to do it. So, again, try not to drink too much, try not to drink late. Red wine is supposedly very good for us. And then if we don't want the sulfates, because for some people red wine does induce a headache, then maybe have an organic red wine. Try and have that maybe with a meal, so that you're diluting the alcohol content, and try and stick to one. But if you're getting to 8, 9, 10 o'clock and you're drinking a glass of wine, or having a shot of some sort, we want to see if we can put that down and at least just cut that down to 1 a day until we can wean off of that one, really.
Well, you've said so much already. My last question was actually going to be, what are your 5 top tips? But you've said so many tips already. Do you have any extras?
Yeah, take some supplements. Absolutely, definitely take some supplements. There are some supplements that I would recommend. They're beside me, but I'm not going to take them out. But magnesium is a great supplement. It's the nature supplement, and it helps to calm you down. It helps to balance those sugar levels as well. So magnesium is a great one. It also helps to relieve cramps and tremors. Sometimes when we are stressed, some people get this little tick in their eye. Some people get what is called restless leg, where their leg, is just dotting out, and mostly that's in sleep. Or you just get that nervous feeling in your stomach. Magnesium really does help to smooth out those smooth muscles. Also, if ladies, we're in our 40s, if we're having periods, problematic periods, painful periods, magnesium is also, it's just the go-to nutrient to have in the cupboard all the time, as well as your B vitamins. They are really great for calming you down in stress, but also giving you energy, balancing your blood sugar levels as well. And it helps with your brain chemicals also, and your nervous system. So again, that's another one to have in there. And I guess my last supplement as a hint or tip would be Siberian ginseng. And that is actually an adaptogenic, and it's a natural substance, and it can increase your body's ability to resist the damaging effects of stress. It's a bit of a tonic for your adrenal glands. So that's that in terms of supplements. But what else I would recommend is sleep. This is the time where our body has to rest and the time that it has to repair. So one of the reasons why I talked a little bit more about alcohol is because it impacts our sleep as well as recreational drugs. If somebody likes some weed or some Sensi, or I'm not even going to the hard stuff like cocaine, but that stuff will just impede your sleep. So you will crash out for a bit or feel great for a bit, but then you're impeding your sleep. And in doing so, you're not allowing your body to rest and to repair. And one of the damaging effects of stress is actually on our bodies on a very cellular level. So we do want our bodies to rest well. We want our bodies to repair. And some of the nutrients that I gave you in terms of supplements as well as foods will help to nourish your body.
Well, thank you, Christina. That information is like a wealth of information for loads of us. And I'm sure my subscribers are really, really going to take to it. If we want to get in contact with you, how can we get in contact with you? What are your details?
Well, my details are, you can contact me on my website, which is www.familynutritionforlife, and that's .com. So you can find me there. And I do have a Facebook group, and it's actually called Family Nutrition for Life, believe it or not. So you can get me there. You can email me on my website, or you can contact me on my Facebook group.
Okay, fantastic. And we will be leaving all your details in the description box below. Thank you so much for coming in today. And we loved having you here at the Self Help Hub. Thank you so much.
Thank
and
you.
Bye-bye.
I loved being a part. Take care.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Wasn't that a great interview? Weren't you filled with some serious information? Well, you know what? Her details are in the description box below. So don't forget to check them out. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. Bye for now. Cheerio.